I tried to be gay once, and I downloaded Grindr, and I matched with this guy, this trans guy that was 200 feet away. He was inside the same gated apartment complex that I live in. And he was like, that way I don't have to let you in. He wanted to keep things really casual. So he said, come over, the door will be unlocked. I'll have my headphones in, I'll be watching porn. You don't have to say anything. And I was like, okay, this is what men do. You know, I'm a man now. This is man sex. So I went down on him for like an hour. He was like a total edgelord. Poppers and everything. And then after he came, he kicked me out, and I thought, that's the last I'll hear from him. The next day, he hit me up, and he asked me to help him move furniture. So after all that, I just ended up with another U-Haul lesbian. They say that there's more trans people now than there were in the past, that it's been increasing over the past few decades. Like in the silent generation, there's about 0.5% trans. We don't talk about Juno. But in the Y generation, there's about 2% trans, which is the same amount as Mormons and Jews. So that's plenty if you ask me. No, I'm just kidding. They're saying that it's like a trans contagion. The trans people are turning other people trans. But if you look at a graph of left-handedness, it increases the same slope. Well, all those left-handers trying to turn you right-handed people left-handed. If they treated it like they treat trans, they'd say, how old were you when you realized you were left-handed? How do your parents feel about you being left-handed? Is your grandma okay with it? We know there's like a generational turn there. But it's one of these Caucasian causation problems. They could say also that increases in ice cream sales cause increases in deaths, when really it's just the summer. There's something about that heat that makes people want to kill people and have a sweet treat. The only time that I was shot by the police was when I was protesting, but it's okay. It was less than lethal rounds. The kind of bullets for white people. It hurt, but just enough for me to go home and write about it in my journal. I was like, dear diary, systemic oppression was pretty mid today. Left a review on Yelp. I was like, 3 stars, wouldn't recommend, but the crowd's energy was great. Some people, they get shot by the police and they get disappeared. Me, I got shot by the police and I started a podcast. They made it right, though. They ended up sending me a gift card to Target. Trans men be shopping. Sometimes when I say I'm trans, people think that I mean like the other way, like I'm a trans woman, which is like, oh, thank you. It's very nice. But they're like, oh, you just didn't dress up today. You just didn't do your makeup. And I'm like, well, I have like a full-grown beard. Like, this is a Taco Bell. And they're like, why are you coming out to me as trans in a Taco Bell? And I'm like, I'm trying to get the keys to the women's restroom. Have you seen the men's room? It is disgusting. Like, I can pee standing up, but it's going to get everywhere. And I think being trans, you have like a interesting perspective on the sexes. Like, I can explain why the women's bathroom line is always longer than the men's. Surprise poops. And people are like, where do you stand on the bathroom issue? I'm like, the whole point is that I sit down to pee. But I think that it's wild that they let me transition. They let me become a man. A man. Man is important. Maybe a woman, but a man? What if I fuck up everything with my feminine sensibilities? What if I get period blood on a spreadsheet? What if I get super woke and I Me Too myself? What if I smile at a baby?